Well, let's get your top story, and that's Donald Trump, who's denied dozens of criminal counts of willfully mishandling U.S. government secrets and scheming to prevent their return in a historic first-ever appearance on Tuesday in a federal court in Florida.
That's right. It was the former president's second arraignment as he battles a deluge of legal threats, coming just 10 weeks after he was charged with a string of felonies in Manhattan over hush money payments to an adult film star.
Now, Trump appeared before a judge in Miami to be formally presented with 37 charges brought by the government following a special counsel probe that opened after an FBI raid of his Florida mansion last August.
That's right. In fact, the U.S. government has accused Trump, who is vying to win back the White House next year, of violating the Espionage Act and other laws when he removed classified documents upon leaving office and failed to give them to the National Archives.
Now, authorities say that he conspired to thwart investigators and knowingly shared national security secrets with people who did not have the required clearance.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a great honor to have you here. Hillary Clinton broke the law, and she didn't get indicted. Joe Biden broke the law, and in many other ways we're finding out, and so far has not gotten indicted. I did everything right and they indicted me. There's never been obstruction as grave as that. She did this in the face of everything, and yet nobody did anything about it. Never before have the two standards of justice in our country been more starkly revealed. Joe Biden had troves of classified documents from his time as vice president and even as a senator.
The former president of the United States turns 77 years old. He pleaded no guilty in federal court here at the Southern District of Florida. In Miami, his legal team was the one in charge of giving the plea to the judge, Jonathan Goodman. Donald Trump didn't talk during the session of about 15 to 20 minutes. He was dressed with a blue suit and a red tie and had his arms folded most of the time. During this court hearing, the judge addressed him as former president of the United States and notified him that he cannot contact any of the possible witnesses that will be part of the trial. So far, it's not known when that could happen, but he was given conditional freedom and no bail was set, and he will be able to come back at his own reconnaissance. Something that is important to mention is that his passport was not taken away, which means that he will be able to travel and continue with his political campaign as he seeks the nomination of the Republican Party. During today's hearing, it was suspected that Walt Nauta, who works with Donald Trump, used to be one of his ballet assistants in the White House and who also faced charges in the same indictment, did not receive charges by the court because he did not have representation in the state of Florida. The former president left the court where thousands of people, not only the media, but also pro-Trump supporters as well as those against them and members of the public, gathered during the last few hours to witness a historic day in which a former president of the United States was charged with federal criminal charges in the Southern District of Florida. I'm Celia Mendoza from VOA News in Miami.
And to get more on this, we have our guest joining us, Anand Ahuja, New York-based attorney, co-founder of Indian Americans for Trump. And we also have with us Ajay Jain Bhaturia, Biden supporter, the Vice Chair, Presidential Inaugural Committee of the AAPI, the Leadership and National Finance Committee member. And thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. If I could take my first question regarding what actually went on in court today, was it merely the judge reading out the charges to Donald Trump and he pleading not guilty, given that it's just his first appearance in court? And how serious are the charges? If I could take this question to Anand Ahuja.
Oh, okay. So basically the procedure, as in most of the countries, including India, is that this is just a formality on the very first court appearance. Normally, either defendant is let go based on one's own recognition or bail is set. So in this particular case, considering that it's a high-profile defendant, ex-president of United States of America, so basically, though no mugshot was taken and he was just let go. Normally, the procedure in the very first hearing like this is to read out charges against the defendant, which in this particular case, attorneys for Donald Trump, they waived that because they were already given the list of those charges. So the whole proceeding today, in today's court, was, I think, for about 5 or 6 minutes. So it was not basically a very time-consuming or tedious kind of court appearance.
Right, significant details there, but if I can also get in Mr. Ajay Jain, the big question really now is what are going to be the ramifications of Trump's appearance in court as far as his campaign is concerned? What are going to be its ramifications on the equations within the Republican camp, so to speak?
I mean, today we have seen justice served. Former President Donald Trump has been indicted on the charges of mishandling classified documents and obstructing justice. This is a major victory for our democracy and a sign that no one is above the law, even the president. For years, Trump has flaunted the law and abused his power. He has obstructed justice, lied to American people, and put our national security at risk. Today is finally being held accountable for his actions. This indictment is a reminder that we must never allow a president to get away with breaking the law. And we are seeing Republican Party, a lot of people who have been supporting Trump in past are distancing away from him. And that's what the right thing to do, that if someone is breaking the law and is being indicted, but still there are some supporters who will continue to support him, but major portion of the Republican Party is distancing away from him now.
Right, thanks so much, gentlemen, for joining us on the morning broadcast. So, well, Trump pleading not guilty at his, in his historic federal court appearance today.
Just ahead of his 77th birthday, and like that was being said that no mugshot was taken, no travel restrictions have been imposed. So, but the charges are very, very serious. He's been charged with, he's facing 37 charges in that court in Florida.